What happened in 1948, I remember my grandparents telling me a story of people who left their homes under heavy bombardment, leaving everything behind. The massive similarities between the Nakba and what's going on right now with our people in Gaza. This is the second Nakba, except it's larger and it's broadcasted live on television. I'm Hani Mahmoud, Al Jazeera English correspondent in Gaza, and between us, what began in 1948 never stopped. Gaza is living its Nakba now. Growing up in Gaza has shaped my experience and my life with what my grandparents, what my parents, what thousands of people went through from 1948 all the way to 2025. Misery that keeps getting worse in each passing. So it's not just a single event that we looked at and it happened and that's it, but it went on for generations. For many of the families who are experiencing this for the second time,
هجمونا من بلادنا وطلعنا غزة بهذا.
عندي الحين حوالي 80 سنة مثل هالنكبة ما شفت.
We're talking about the third generation of families who are still refugees. For them, this is feeding into permanent displacement. It shaped their identity, it shaped their way of thinking, it shaped their experiences, because there's nothing pretty about being a refugee and searching for not only your civil rights, but also your human rights. There are particular families here that are still holding the keys of their homes they were forced from in 1948. We learned from the stories and the memories and the experiences that were passed down to us from the older generation that memory is power, and it just made us realize that our identity as Palestinians is not in the things that we lost. It's not in the things that our grandparents lost, but it's in what we are unable to forget. That's what makes us Palestinians. You want to go through your life like every ordinary citizen around the world, but that's not the case when it comes to the Palestinians. It passed down to experiences at the border lines, experiences in neighboring countries, and that's all because of the ongoing state of displacement and the fact that you're made a refugee back in 1948, and this is still going on. Your status as a refugee never stopped, never ended.
وأي فلسطيني لو ملكت الدنيا ما بريد بحن إلى وطن.
Now we're living the worst of it. This is more of the pinnacle of the Nakba, or the catastrophe. 18 months of unfolding devastation and destruction. People in 1948 might have had the opportunity to seek refuge and protection in different areas, from one village to another. But right now, Gaza is contained, is completely blockaded with no exit out of this unfolding hell. People are going hungry, they're going thirsty. 90% of the population are living in tents now, with more than 85% of the residential buildings have been destroyed and wiped out completely. An entire enclave have turned into vast fields of rubble. It's not just a failure of diplomacy, a failure of policy, it's a failure of humanity that is unable to protect and provide necessary safety for the children, for the women, for the elderly, for the vulnerables among them. Reporting from Gaza is such a huge responsibility.
It started to take its emotional, physical, and psychological toll on me.
The responsibility here to keep the memory alive here, and that's what I'm planning on doing, teaching my son and the children across the Gaza Strip that the end result of a Nakba was to erase the history of an entire population. But that did not happen because of Palestinians' resilience and the fact that they don't want to give up on their lands. The memory continued to happen. and it continued to grow